Hi, everybody. So today we are doing a Mediterranean style Buddha bowl. Buddha bowls have probably been around for like the longest, right? But you can make them so versatile and so different. Um, You can do them more of like an Asian-y side. You can do them on an Indian-y side. You can do them in the Greek-y side or the Mediterranean-y side, right? So we're doing the Mediterranean side. We're not going to do any falafel because that takes too long, but we're going to do hummus and cauliflower, garbanzo beans, um, collard greens, sweet potato, and then we're going to do like a hummus drizzle on top. So, and then also a lemon, basil, quinoa. So, let's get started. Hi, sister. Hi, Gators. How you guys doing? Thank you for joining me again today. Are you ready? So, I pre-did the sweet potatoes like I did last time. So, I cut them. I cut the tops off on both sides, and then I also sliced them into like little rounds, right? And I want them to be nice and soft. You can also roast them if you want, but because I'm having roasted cauliflower and roasted garbanzo beans, I kind of wanted to do something a little bit more different, and I didn't want to do just everything roasted because then that's just a different type of bowl. So I wanted something that has a little bit of roasting, a little bit of softness, a little bit of collard greens, some nice, and then some like nice and beautiful tones and flavors. We got some basil from the backyard. We got some carrots. The carrots we can also saute before we do the collard greens, and all that good stuff. So I wanted to get into the nutrition of each item, but I'm gonna do that at the end so that way we can get on the ball and things can start cooking because we got some things to put in the oven. All right. So the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna do the garbanzo beans, right? Mind you, you will need 2 cans of garbanzo beans, right? So the 2 cans are for, one is for the roasted garbanzo beans / chickpeas, and then the other one is for your hummus, right? So you're just give me a second, guys. I think it froze anyway. Oh, I think I'm about to watch the replay. My garbanzo beans fell out the jar. I didn't quite close it all the way. I think I lost like at least 20 garbanzo beans. But yes, so put your top on and close it. But yeah, so I have some garbanzo beans in here for our hummus. It's only 1 can. Anyway, so what I did with this, right, for this one right here, I'm doing a close-up. So what I did for these is I peeled all of the garbanzos in warm water, and I'm going to show you the peels. So these are, some fell inside, great. So these are all my peels. You see all the skins? These are all the skins on the garbanzos. So this was warm water. Now it's like kind of like a chilled, like a room temperature right now. But these garbanzo skins were all on top of the garbanzos, and this is gonna make for a better hummus, a more creamy hummus versus a hummus that has like all the skins on it. You'll see the difference. If you ever made hummus at home, you'll definitely see the difference from peeling the skins versus not peeling the skins. Tail's laughing at me. But yeah, somebody clip that. But yeah, so that's what the Gabarzo water looks like. We don't really need that. I just wanted to show you guys what it looks like. Exactly. You can give the Gabarzo water to your plants. Of course, you want to take the shells out of it because you don't want those start to mold inside. Okay, back here. You don't want them to start to mold inside of your plants. So you take the Gabarzo skins out. But because the Gabarzos was kind of soaking in there, all the nutrients from those Gabarzo beans are now going to be inside your plants. So that's always great. All right. So we got that down packed. And now we're going to do our roasted Gabarzos. Now I'm all discombobulated, guys, because of that. We're under food and drink, right? We're under food and drink now. We're under food and drink category. Okie dokie. So I just did my Gabarzos, right? And what I'm gonna do is I'm going to rinse off the aquafaba. So the aquafaba, I don't know if Gabarzo beans is the only bean that creates its own, like, kind of like a whipped cream kind of thing. It's the juice of the Gabarzo beans. If you whip it up, it turns into like a shaving cream kind of thing, and that's aquafaba. People use that for baking and all kinds of stuff like that. So you can save that if you need it. However, I might pour some inside of my peeled Gabarzos, so that way I have it for the hummus. Is there a... Ay, Dios mío, this jar! And now I'm stepping on... This is a hot mess. Wow, what happened to the jar? So the jar has a hole in it somewhere. I don't know where. Ah, right there. I don't know how that happened. I hope there's no glass in the Gabarzos. Shucks. What should I do? Throw it all out? So what if you eat glass? Alright, guys. Thought I was getting ahead of the game. However, I'm not. Bear with me, everyone. I look like an amateur today. Can you help me with these and then pick them up for me so I'm not stepping on Gabarzo beans? Thank you. Okay, I'll get it in a sec. Alright, so trying to figure out what to do now. Sorry guys. Please bear with me. I think I heard something like Okay. Okay, so I'm gonna toss this out. I thought this was gonna be such a great idea. Evidently, it's not. Alina, please. Okay, I'm gonna rinse them again. Hopefully we can get... There's no glass in here. Give me a second, guys. I don't think there's any glass. I think it probably broke another day. But to be sure, definitely want to check them. I don't know how I'm going to see glass in here. It's clear.
If you see any shreds.
Alright, well, I guess when we put it in the NutriBullet, it'll be nice and like really small, so you won't be able to tell. Okay, so garbanzo beans, we're going to put some of the aquafaba inside. Right, and then we're going to rinse off these beans. And then you can do it inside of like a cooler, so that way it doesn't shed the skins like how it did before. The warm water made the skins come up, and then vigorously moving it back and forth makes the skins come off. And then you'll kind of like pluck them off. So it will look, this is a garbanzo bean with the skin on. And then when you rub it, just like that, the skin comes off. So that's how the skin comes right off the garbanzo bean. You just plop that right in.
I saw a garbanzo bean that had the skin on.
Okay. Okay, so now that we have that, right, we're going to season our garbanzos. So we're going to put some sea salt. We're going to do some ram masala for that Mediterranean, Indian kind of feel. You can do them curry. We're going to do some dill. You can do them shawarma. You can do them all different types of ways that you would like. And then we're going to do some grapeseed oil. And some pepper. Okay. Then we're going to take a spoon and we're going to mix that all in. So I don't recommend olive oil on this one because olive oil is not good for cooking. It lets out toxins. But if you are going to eat it raw, then yeah, olive oil is fine. So for this one, we're going in the oven. So I wouldn't put olive oil. That's why I put grapeseed. You're going to smell it to make sure that that's the flavors that you want it to be. And smelling it also helps your brain kind of function in the way of making sure everything else kind of tastes like it. So we're going to turn off our potatoes. And we're going to move them to the back. The potatoes were on there for about 30 minutes to 45 minutes. This is some cumin powder to have like a little bit more Mediterranean kind of taste. Oh, they lost sound. Can you? Oh, okay. Never mind. And just so you know, you get half off for Twitch cookers for the Discord, right? So we're going to take these and then we're going to put them, I have 2 cooking sheets. And in the cooking sheets, I kind of folded them in half. So we're going to put it inside like a kind of like a boat. And then this one is going to be for our cauliflower. And the reason why I have 2 separate ones is because I'm going to make them taste different than one another. So I don't want the flavors that's on the garbanzo beans to be on the cauliflower. And then the reason why is because the Mediterranean bowl is very well rounded. So you want it to have different flavors and different types of taste in it. So it's all going to be Mediterranean, but some flavors are going to be on one thing that is not on the other. So perfect. So we're going to take our garbanzo beans, and I'm putting this on in the cast iron so it can go inside the oven. Hi, pop, pop, bullets, pop, pop, bullets. How are you? So we're going to put this in the cast iron just like that. And we're going to take the same spoon and try to get as close to one layer as possible. So you want that to be nice and cleared out into all the crevices, right? And then on this side, we're going to do our cauliflower. So we're going to put this up on the side. And then we're going to take that same bowl, rinse it out so those flavors again doesn't correspond. Now I'm going to give you a disclaimer for this dish. It does consist of a lot of dishes. So this is why I'm rinsing out the bowl to kind of prevent having to use multiple dishes, right? So for the cauliflower, we got the ones that are already pre-cut because the ones that they had that was whole were so small. So, and this was only 2 for $5, so I said, why not? And then the one that was whole was $5 for a small size. All right, so now, I don't know if you guys can see. That's the back. Okay, no, I need this. So we're going to take our cauliflower. If you see any black spots on it like this or anything like that, you're going to cut that off. And then you're going to cut them into smaller chunks. So this is a good size, but if you want them to roast a little bit faster, then you want to make sure that they're a little bit smaller. Not too small because they do shrink, right? Right, so there you go. That's about the size that you can do, or you can do them into the size like this. Right, this size is pretty good too. So medium to small is perfect for this dish. Why are you laying everywhere? Why are you laying on the floor? Okay, so she just came from a sleepover, right? But we found out that, and when I say she, I'm talking about Alina, right? Alina's my 5-year-old daughter, for anyone new that's here. She went to a sleepover last night, and we come to find out she didn't sleep at the sleepover. So she slept for like equivalent to probably 3 hours. So she's home and she's laying on the floor every and anywhere. So can you please get off the floor? So why do I see your head like by the floor? All right, so we're just cutting off all the black parts and the parts of the stem that we don't want. It's super funny, right? All right, so we got that down pat. I would have her help me with the cutting, but she's so tired. I don't want her to cut her fingers off. She won't go to sleep. Chat said that it's okay to take a nap, Alina. Nobody, it was just me. I was trying to convince you. So I don't know if you guys can hear some of the music. It's probably really low. But I have like a Mediterranean kind of feel to everything. It's kind of fun. Auntie Gail says, take that snooze. She said, no way, Auntie Gail. All right. We're heading to being almost done. And with the garbanzo beans, we want that to go inside at the same time because they're going to take longer to cook. So if we put them in now, the cauliflower is not going to be nice and soft when it's time to come out for everything. So we put them in at the same time. All right, and the rest of this, those are like bad pieces. Okay. And then we're going to do the second bag. This is what we have so far. This will not be enough when we are putting it into bowls. You're going to be like, that's it. So we're going to do 2 bags. So how was your week, everybody? Well, your Saturday. Yesterday was July 31st. Today is August 1st, right? No, is today the 1st? Or is today the 31st? Oh, okay. Today's the 31st. So her birthday was on the 30th, please. Nope, tomorrow. Yup. How you feel being back at work? You feel like you got everything accomplished that you needed to accomplish before you went back? You did all your errands and everything? Alina, please stop banging on the floor. Thank you. Yes, I feel good. It's cool. Like I was telling Andrew, right? That like in the entertainment business, the reason why people stay in the entertainment business for so long is because of those breaks in between. You know what I mean? Like, you get, like, your job is like, okay, we're gonna cut the season. The season is we're not gonna go right back. You have like a week or two off to do everything that you want to do. Sometimes you have even longer, depending on the show that you're on. And you get that time for yourself, and then you come back recharged. You know, and then the job lasts for like a year or so, and then you're back on a new season. So I think that's super cool to have that ability to do that. Because you never hear like people like Diana Ross quitting the entertainment business. She's still around, performing and everything. Yeah, especially when you know you have a job to go back to. Yeah, very true. But Emmy nominated Gail Russell will always have a job. She said, ha, right? Do we vote for the Emmys, or do just the board votes for the Emmys? Is the Emmys a people awards? Huh? No, because you're... Oh, you want to show your tattoo? Yeah, go ahead, go show your tattoo.
Look, I have big tattoo.
They can't see. You got to go to the camera.
Look, I have big tattoo.
Can they see that? Oh, go to this one. Put your arm in front of this one. No, other way.
Look, I got big tattoo.
She says she got fake tattoos at her party she went to yesterday. It's an ice cream theme. I don't know why ice cream, but I guess you could do a lot with ice cream, like ice cream cake, ice cream desserts, ice cream, ice cream toys. So Auntie Gail says, ooh, pretty, nice and pink.
Thank you, Auntie Gail.
All right, so we are almost done with these tedious sure. Yeah, so we're almost done with the cauliflower, just picking out the pieces that are still good, because this was in the refrigerator for a little bit of days, so they're a little bit black on some places. And when they're 2 for $5, they are definitely making sure that you purchase them to cook that day, because they're already cut, so they don't last as long. Hi, Max. How are you? Pineapple pizza.
Hi, Max.
Pineapple pizza. We're making Mediterranean Buddha bowls today, Max. Thank you for stopping by. What time is it now? It's pretty early, right? Like 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock. So this is around dinner time for you, right?
So, you know, Alexa.
Just eat your popsicle.
She said it was
Oh, okay. 9:30. Okay, 9:30 is a pretty okay time. I don't usually eat after 8 p.m., but But if you want to find this recipe, you can always come back and watch it again, and then get all the stuff that you need and make this before dinner, before you go to sleep. He said no. All right. Coolio. So therefore, so now we have our cauliflower. We're going to do our herby chimichurri on the cauliflower. From Heaven's Kitchen. I'm not sure where else they would have this brand, but they have it at the local Wegmans. You can always make it yourself as well. No, bedtime for me. So the ingredients are right here. Extra virgin olive oil, some parsley, sunflower oil. I know what I said earlier about it going in the oven. However, the stuff is too darn good. A little bit of toxins for us. Some lemon zest, some sea salt, some crushed red pepper, and some capers. That's how I broil. All right, so and then we're gonna add some of the grapeseed oil. And then we're gonna put some sea salt. My favorite ingredient, some danka. I'm running out, guys. I gotta go back to Trader Joe's. This lasts me probably like 2, maybe 3 years. A little bit of smoked paprika. And some dry basil. I want this one to have like very herby notes. And then we're going to mix it all together. Nice and herby. And then I'm going to add some fresh basil. I'm going to chop up some fresh basil. I roll it. So you're going to roll it like this. You can see it here. You're going to roll it like this. And then you're going to chop it on its side. And that's how you get like the nice strings. That's good for garnish. And then you just cut it up a little bit again. So they're nice and stringy. And then you're going to put that inside of your cauliflower. Mix it all in. I'm going to add a little bit more dry basil. And the basil that we have, this basil is different from the basil that I cut up. This is sweet basil. So sweet basil has a different aroma to it, and it has a different properties to make it taste different. This right here is acai basil, and it has a more of a licorice scent to it. So that gives that like nice Mediterranean kind of feel to it. Mix it all together again. I feel like I'm missing an ingredient. Let me look at my spice rack. Um, I'm gonna do some oregano and some coriander. So doing it this way allows you to get the places that you want to definitely get. Right? Okay. And now we're going to mix again. Smell it. See if that's how you want it to be fragrant. Right? And then we're going to put this on the other side of our cast iron. And then we're going to put the cauliflower right inside. Right? And then we're going to drizzle it a bit with some of our grapeseed oil. There we go. Perfect. Now we have our garbanzos on one side and our cauliflower on the other, and we're going to roast both of them inside the oven at 400 degrees with a top on. Like I said, I cut the top off so that way it can stay inside and do what it does. So the reason why I'm adding a top on top of it is because it keeps the moisture going back in so that the garbanzo beans are not super hard. Even though they're roasted, I don't want them to be to a place where they're too crunchy. You can do them crunchy, just make sure you take them off the top and you put them on like a cooking sheet, like one of those flat cooking sheets. That would be perfect. All right. All chefs know you clean as you go. All right. So we're going to get some of this mess up. All right. So now the next thing that we're going to do is our onion. I'm going to rinse this out first. Okie dokie. So now we're going to take some red onion. Peel that bad boy. The thing I like about onions is that sometimes like you'll look at them and it's like, that top layer doesn't really look too good. But because onions have so many layers, just peel that sucker back. And then you have perfectly good onions underneath. There we go. Perfect. So now we're going to take this and cut it in half this way. And then we're going to cut it again in half. Right? And cut that half in half, cut that half in half, cut that half in half, cut that half in half. So we're going to be left with these peel-offs, just like that, right? And what we're going to do with this is we're going to saute this with our carrots and our collard greens. So it's going to be sauteed onions, sauteed carrots, and sauteed collard greens. So we're going to take our onions and put them to the side. And this is, we're going to cut these into little rounds. Just like that. Right? We're going to put the carrots to the side over here. And then for our collard greens, the collard greens that we have are kind of long. And if you don't saute them correctly, they'll be like, really like, they'll choke you. So you'll do the same thing that you did with your basil and cut them into strips, smaller strips, and then cut those strips in half. When you do that, you can assure that they'll be like perfect size without choking you. So you can just cut them. So that looks great and lovely. And mind you, you see how much this is right here? This is not even anything. I almost forgot, guys. Before we do this part, we're going to do our quinoa because our quinoa is going to take a while to cook. So I'm going to put this over to the side. And I'm going to take some grapeseed oil and put it and drizzle it at the bottom of our bowl. Right? So that's what it's going to look like. We're going to take our lemon. Rinse it off nicely. We'll talk about it later. Alright, so we're going to add some lemon zest and some lemon juice. So we're going to take this side, the side that's kind of like a smaller cheese grate. This is the cheese side. We're going to take this side. Every time I use this side, it doesn't really do as much as I'm supposed to. So this is why I'm going to use this side instead. And we're going to take our lemon. It's better. We're going to take our lemon and we're going to zest it.
I'm not sure what's happening with Twitch lately, but there'll be way more people in the chat than what it's showing. Everybody in the chat can do me a favor by refreshing your browser. Hit that refresh button.
So we want to take all the yellow part off. And that's the zest. A zest of 1 lemon. And it smells amazing. Right? So that we have like our lemon zest. We have a little bit more spaces. We want to get all that zest off as much as possible. Perfect. Okay, and then we're going to we got the zest, and we're gonna do the basil. I was looking for it. So we're gonna do our basil, and we're gonna cut it up. I'm gonna use 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, about 6 good sizes. So this is about the sizes that I picked. And then we're going to cut that up into nice little beautiful strips. Right? And then we're going to just drop it in. Just drizzle it nice, beautiful in there. And then we're going to take our quinoa and rinse it off. Oh yeah, this smells like heaven. Like, I don't know. Lemon is like so good. And it's like full of vitamin C. So I'm rinsing off my quinoa to kind of get some of that extra bitterness off of it, because quinoa could have like that little bitterness. You can also do rice if you want to do like a lemon basil rice. I just like quinoa for this dish, and like when we go over the nutrition, you'll see why. But yeah. And I'm gonna let my water go inside of the water I'm gonna feed my plants with. Perfect. Okie dokie. So now we're going to take our quinoa and we're going to add it to our basil and lemon zest with the grapeseed oil. I'm like, why am I not being able to tell what I just did? I'll put that all in there, just like that, right? That's like another spoon and some change. All right, and then we're going to take this, we're going to mix it together. Mix it nice and nice. So all of those flavors of lemon and basil and grapeseed oil gets nice and in there. Right? And then we're going to turn on our flame to a medium high. Yeah, medium high. I'm gonna get some of those flavors to cook in a little bit, just a tad bit. And then we're gonna add our water, which is gonna be our Mountain Valley spring water. Yeah, limes are really good. Key limes are my favorite. They're small, they're a pain in the butt, but they're so good. But yeah, so we're gonna let the flavors kind of go on there for a little bit, and then we're gonna add this water to it. And on the meantime, while that does that, I'm gonna wash this flat pan, saute pan real quick. I did it beforehand. I attempted to make some gluten-free pancakes today. Although Andrew said they taste good, like I'm used to growing up with fluffy pancakes, and I haven't figured out how to get my gluten-free pancakes to be super fluffy. So it kind of stuck to the pan. So I had to let this pan soak, even though I needed it later on today. Wash that really good. Scrub it with Troy board. Welcome. I'm coming. I promise. I'm on my way. Just have to rinse off my pot. All right. Hello, guys. Buddah balls. All right. So now our quinoa, we're gonna add the water. And we're going to leave about that much. We don't really need a full bottle of water. So we're going to leave about that much for drinking water. And we're going to stir in our quinoa with our basil and our lemon zest. And then we're going to put a top on it. If I can find the top. Is this the top? Boom. So just so you guys could see the sweet potatoes, they are steamed sweet potatoes with the skin on. So we're gonna, and I cut them the same way I did last week, with the skin down the cut down the middle, just in case the person doesn't like the skin, they could just peel it back, no problem. But they're nice and soft. If you want them to be a little harder, you can put them in the oven. But like I said earlier, you want different textures inside of your Buddah bowl. I don't want everything to be the same exact flavors, the same exact taste, the same exact everything. And the reason why is because it's interchangeable and you can take those flavors. Sheesh, water from a water. Yeah. What's wrong with water from a water bottle, from a glass bottle? But I'm fancy. This is how I look at it, right? The water that you put into your food, especially like rice and quinoa, you are going to be eating that water and everything that's inside of that water. So because everything is soaked into the quinoa, if you are from America and stuff like that, there's a lot of toxins and prescription drugs and all these different types of things inside tap water. So if you use like a bottled water from like a spring, preferably spring water, right? And you put that in there, now you have spring water that's based on your quinoa versus tap water. You fancy. Not my tap water. Well, if your tap water is good, then you use your tap water. But our tap water in New York City, I don't trust it. So I'll use spring water.
Okay. All type of flush drugs down the toilet. You don't want the heroin that they flush down the toilet in your
The heroin. Okay, so now the next thing we're going to do is we're going to do our sauteed onions. And no, not my. No, not my tap water. All right, so yeah, so we're gonna do the sauteed onions and carrots together, and then we're gonna do the cauliflower on the seasoned pan. So I'll show you what I mean by that when we get to that part. I'm gonna use a bowl. See what I mean by it needs a lot of dishes because of the fact that there's so many moving parts to it. All right, so I'm gonna take our carrots. This lemon is still smelling so good.
Which is broken.
Twitch is broken. What they say?
No, give it back. Thank that. Keyword is back. Okay. You try.
No, I don't char them. I saute them. I'll show you how. I caramelize them. So we're going to turn on our frying pan. Put some grapeseed oil. I think we have some more. So this is about the amount of grapeseed oil that you need at the bottom to coat the bottom of the pan. Just like that. Good? Okay. And then we're going to take our onions, our onion halves, these bad boys right here. We're going to let our oil kind of get a little warm. Yeah, so please use spring water when you're cooking, guys. So Alina doesn't like charred anything. Anything that has too dark of a color to it, preferably her food, she's not going to eat it. Even if it's like, oh my God, this is charred something. This is charred that. It's like charred, you mean burnt? So we're going to add our onion halves to it. We're going to take our agave and we're going to let that go on there. It wasn't very much in here. It was about right here left of the agave, so I just added the rest of it. And then we're going to take our carrots. Laugh out loud. Burnt, that's my way. Okay. And then we're going to take the carrots and the onions and saute them, caramelize them together. And if they break apart, that's fine. We can take the little pieces as well and put them back together. Oh my god. Yep, you see nothing but hands and head. Hands and head. So we're going to let that go nice and beautiful until it gets nice and brown. All right, and then we're going to take our collard greens that we cut up and we're going to put that in a separate bowl so we can do the rest. So our collard greens have vitamin K in them. I know I said I was going to do nutrition later. We're going to go more into depth of the things that I wrote out for you guys about this meal. But vitamin K is so good. It's good for brain development in children as well. So yeah. I'm going to cut these bad boys and get them nice and small. So today is like more like a chill day. Oh, just so you guys know, we actually streamed yesterday too, but it was like a spur of the moment, just playing games kind of stream. It wasn't like any giveaways or anything like we do on our Friday stream. So this weekend was a weekend of us. But it was fun. Yeah. Can we speak about the stuff that you want to talk about later? No, I got it. Hug me? Yeah, of course you can hug me. I would never give up a hug. Love you. It was like literally, like how long we streamed? Like an hour? Awesome teamwork. Oh. Awesome. Yesterday? Oh man. Yeah, so okay. So this is what we decided. We were gonna play the game that we promised each other we'll never play with each other ever again. So in the beginning of our relationship, right? I had a Wii. And the Wii had Super Mario? Or was it just Mario? It was a new Super Mario Brothers at the time, right? So it was like teamwork kind of thing. You had to go through the different boards with your teammate. And he would always bounce on my head and kill me. And then he'll kill me and then go into a bubble. So we had to start a lot of the boards over. So after a while, it gets frustrating, right? So we're both frustrated at each other to the point we decided we would never play the game again. Right? And last night we played a different version of it. And the same thing was happening.
You need more than just a rectangle. You need more than a square. I can't be too close.
We played Mario last night.
And the game is crazy because it holds you to the image. Like, hey, you move while I want to move too fast.
Yeah, you're like coming off the board. And then it's like, now I'm trapped between the board and a wall. So now I die. And it's like, well, okay, well, at least you're a little bit further now. But it's like, no. And then it's like, you'll think, oh, I can do this without her. And then you jump and then you die. And then it's like, oh, we're going to start over. Why didn't you just wait?
This game folds a lot faster.
He said, try, it takes two.
That's a game. We will try it.
Okay, we'll try it. Maybe next Saturday.
We'll try it. I always hear about this game. But then that'll take 3. Usually hard. It takes 2.5.
It takes 2.5. But it was like a spur of the moment. We were without, like, Alina was out of the house. And we were just being us. And today is more of like a relaxed day with the cooking and everything that's going on. So what am I doing right now is I am flipping the onions over. You can use a spoon. But I'm flipping the onions and moving them back and forth so it is nice and caramelized on all sides. And I am also taking out the really hard pieces of stem from, how did basil get in here? I must have put basil thinking it was collard greens. Oh well. So we're going to have basil in our collard greens, guys. That's going to be the first time I ever try that, but whatever. That's fine. It takes two like a partner game? Basil greens. Yep, we're going to have basil greens today. We're just going with the flow. All these ingredients are really good for you, so it doesn't really matter. And they're already in the food anyway. So now, we don't want these to be too charred. This is what it looks like. Right? And then we're going to take that and let that go right in the bowl. So that's carrot and onions sauteed, right? Well, not sauteed, caramelized, right? So then we're going to take that same juices and we're going to put our collard greens.
Like having people that's top of my.
So Andrew's saying he wants to thank everybody for stopping by and being here because we're building a community and we love the fact that you guys are supporting us in all the different aspects. And we would love to hear from you and let us know like what you think about our streams. Huh? Oh yeah, so this one is the newest one that we have. and we're trying to get an affiliate. So please follow the channel if you can. I mean, you can. So please follow the channel, and please let us know all the good things. And we have a Discord if you want the recipes and when we're gonna be on and all that good on and good for stuff. So thank you guys for being here. I really appreciate you all very much. Also be careful with taking out the stems if you're not sure where the bottom of your pan is. But yeah, so we're sauteing that bad boy. You could add some more grapeseed oil like I'm about to do right now to make it more of like a beautiful greasiness. Not too much though. Right? And then we're going to add a little bit of salt. Okay. I'm going to take my tongs. So I don't want to take out all of the vitamin K and nutrients that's inside. So that is your collard greens. And then we're going to put that in a separate pan, a separate bowl. Right? That doesn't take so long, does it? Okay, so we have our collard greens, we have our sauteed, our caramelized, I keep saying sauteed, it's different, right? Sauteed is when you use butter and then no type of sweetener, but then when you caramelize it, you're adding like a sweetener. So I use agave because it gives like this beautiful caramelized flavor to it, and it brings out the sweetness inside of the onions and the carrots. So that is the onions and the carrots caramelized. And then we sauteed our collard greens in the same pot that we did our caramelized onions. So it have a little bit of that same taste to it. So it kind of like mishes together with the flavors. Hydrate. I press my own hydrate button. Okie dokie. So now our quinoa is almost finished. What we want to do is cut our lemon and squeeze this inside. So now we're using the juice of the lemon to make that a nice Mediterranean style lemon quinoa. All right, and we're going to take our fork and fluff it. can get a little bit of a lemon on this side. Right? And then we're going to take that, turn it off, and push it to the back. I touched the silver part. Okay, so we push that to the back. And we're going to let that simmer inside of itself for a little bit. And if you want any extra lemon, you can put that to the side. You can also char your lemon, right? So if you want to char lemon, you can cut it in half and you can put this on the grill like this and then leave it until the lemon gets like really, really like brown on the lemon itself. And then you can also use that to squeeze on your Mediterranean bowl as well. But since we already have lemon juice in the quinoa, I'm not going to do it to be on everything as well.
It's the only thing that works without proof that good.
Oh yeah, charged citrus. When we had COVID, we used charged citrus to get our taste buds back. But yeah. Okie dokie. So now we are going to do the hummus. Let me check on the cauliflower and oh yeah, that's gonna be delicious. Check on the cauliflower and the garbanzo beans. Okay. Let's see what these bad boys look like. Oh man, this smells so good. Okay. So I'm just gonna check on it to see what it looks like. Okie dokie. So we're gonna take the fork and we're gonna stab our cauliflower. Our cauliflower is nice and soft. As you guys can see, it is going right through, no problems. Yeah, good. So nice and through, no problems. It smells really good. And our garbanzo beans are soft, just how we wanted them. You can roast it to make it a little harder if you want. You can take the top off and put them back inside. But I am going to try them to see if they're exactly the flavors and everything that I want. Because this is the time that you will add any extra flavors if you're going to put it back in. So this is the garbanzo bean. That's perfect. That's perfect. And it has a small bit of a crunch, like a tiny bit, like a little tiny crunch. And then the cauliflower, I didn't try that. So I think this was in there for like what, 20 minutes, maybe 30 minutes. I don't quite know. And then for those garbanzo beans are gonna be so perfect next to the quinoa. And the cauliflower is subtle, but it has like a really good taste to it. This is gonna be perfect right next to the onions and carrots. Okay. So this is done. We're not going to even put it back in. You could if you want to, but it's just perfect. I don't want to dry it out. It's nice and moist and delicious. Where's my So we're going to put our top back on, just like that. And we're going to turn off our stove. Jeez. Okay, so now I have some peeled garbanzo beans. As I said earlier, I peeled them in some warm water to get off of the shells. I'm going to show you guys so you can see because you weren't here earlier. So the shells, this was where the garbanzo beans were. They were inside of a warm water, and then I kind of like started massaging them with my hands, and the shells come off naturally. You just peel those off. That takes about like 10 minutes to do so. 10 to 15 minutes. And then you get shellless garbanzo beans, and that makes your hummus a little bit more smoother, right? So we're going to take that. We're going to take the lemon, and we're going to pour some lemon juice onto our... We have another lemon just in case, but I'd rather just get out all I could from here before I do get too much. If you get pulp inside, that's fine. We're almost done, guys. Okie dokie. Right. Perfect. And then we're going to do some tahini. And tahini is basically just sesame seeds. You can use this in an Asian dish if you want. You can use it in... Because Indian and Mediterranean and all of it, they're all Asian, right? All in Asia. So they have kind of like the same flavors. Okay, so we're going to take a tablespoon of tahini. I'm going to add that to our garbanzos. And we're going to do another half of a tablespoon to make that nice and creamy. All right. Whatever. Okie dokie. And then we're going to add some dried basil because we used our basil inside there. Some dried basil. Some dill. And you can do whatever flavors you want for your hummus. And then your cumin powder. Oh, we're out. Okay, perfect. And some pepper. And some salt. This top beef. This is sea salt, guys, just so you know. And I'm going to add a little bit of danka. Mediterranean. Give me an excuse to add more danka. Add a little bit of water. Okie dokie. And now we're going to put the top on. Trying to mix that around a little bit. We're probably going to have to add a little bit more water to it. They had some aquafaba, but I don't know if it's going to be enough. So I'm going to do another half of the lemon. And some grapeseed oil. What's up? Oh, look at that. You want to show everybody a picture? I don't know if they could see it. It's on such dark paper. I'll show them. Alina drew a picture, guys. Look at that. Can you guess what it is? No, I'm kidding. They're like, we're not here to do work today.
This is me, and this was really amazing.
No.
And by the campfire, walking around the park.
Look at that. So we're going to add some lemon.
Okay, look.
Take some of our seeds out. All right, so there we go. And then the rest of the lemon we can use. Guy said, wow, nice job.
Thank you. Thank you.
She said, thank you. Thank you. All right, it's going to get a little loud, so just bear with me for a sec. All right, so our hummus. No, I can't open it. Okay. So this is our hummus, right? And you could do a little.
You gonna taste it? Yummy.
Yeah, it's really good. You can thin it out a little bit more if you want to make it more of like a drizzle. But because I like the way that it tastes, I'm probably going to, I'm going to thin it out a little bit because it's too thick.
I'm going to make it something.
Can you get my water in the room?
Mommy, I was going to get some.
Okay. Can you get my water in the room? So yeah, so I'm going to make it a little bit thinner. Right now it's a little thick. We can add some more lemon to it. It doesn't have that lemony taste to it, so we're going to add a little bit more lemon. Auntie Gail said, you're such an artist. She said, thank you. What's she doing in there? I have no idea. All right, so we got some lemon juice. All right, a little bit more. You said I'm overkill? Oh. I don't know how. I asked her to go get my water. You okay? Why don't you go take a nap? She's starting to become accident prone, guys. All right, so we have our water and our lemon juice in there. And then we're going to bear with my sound again. I'm going to try to cover the mic.
I hope so. I'm muted.
Oh, good job.
Use the mic. Time that's used when people live, I will mute it. Guys, here.
So he muted it for you guys. Save your ears. Now it's like at the dressing consistency that we want. Right? So it's nice and like it's thick, but it's liquidy. So it's good for dressing. All right, perfect. So now I'm going to make a bowl. Should have got one of those Asian bowls yesterday. Presentation bowl. All right, I'm gonna put the stuff to the side. Sounds like we're in Italy right now. Okie dokie. So we're gonna make the small Buddha bowl for Alina to taste the food. Okay, so Alina is going to get hers in here. Okay, so first things first, we're going to start off with the greens. Take a pinch of greens and put that to the side. Like, so we're going to take that and put that at the bottom, right? Greens at the bottom for the base. And then we're going to take our onions and carrots, caramelized onions and carrots, and put that onto the side. And this is for the toddler, so our bowls are going to look slightly different. I'm going to take our potatoes. And then we're also going to take Okay, I'm just putting together the final product, right? So ours is going to look slightly different because we're going to have bigger bowls, but okie dokie. So this is what Alina's bowl is going to look like, right? So we have our quinoa, our lemon quinoa, our potatoes, our sweet potatoes, our garbanzo beans. We have our caramelized onions and carrots on this side, and then we have our cauliflower underneath, and on the bottom, the bed part, is our collard greens. And then we have it drizzled with our hummus dressing, and then we have some smoked paprika on top for a little color and a little extra zestiness to it. The reason why I used this is a bar tool that you would normally have if you're making like drinks, but it's perfect to make sure that it flows out nicely. So that's how we have that. And so Alina, when I asked her to go get my water, she hurt herself, so she's not gonna be for this part. I wish I would have known that, because I would have made a bigger bowl. But yeah, let's go over some of the nutrition. So our sweet potatoes, I want to make sure I don't forget anything, so I wrote it out for you guys. Our sweet potatoes is like packed with fiber. When we put our sweet potatoes out and let them dry out a little bit, they're soft still, but they're not mushy. So this is like perfect. And that's why we did them first. So that way when you put them on your bowl, they're like, you see, they're barely falling apart unless you like do all that, right? So perfect. So this has fiber. It's soluble and regular fiber. So basically it digests both ways. And soluble fibers are good to digest with water, and then insoluble fibers are good for digesting in water. So they help you move through your digestive system, promoting regulatory and helping prevent constipation. So that's what our sweet potatoes are good for. And all around great food for our Buddha bowl. The potassium that's inside helps regulate your heartbeats. And it also has great potassium, and it can help with cardiovascular disease, heart disease, and it can carry the potassium that we need only if we add salt. So that's why we added salt inside of our meal, so that way it can help absorb the sweet potato of the potassium, right? And so our quinoa has 9 of the the amino acids that's inside of protein. So it makes it a full protein. So it goes at about 8 grams of cup per cup. It's of protein. And that, it means a little bit goes a long way. So the 9 amino acids make it a complete protein. So quinoa is your protein in your bowl. The lemons aid in digestion and iron levels, and the levels of vitamin C that you need from your lemon. So iron and vitamin C goes together really well. And our iron would be our garbanzo beans. So our garbanzo beans are being soaked in from the lemon because of all the iron that's inside. And it gets to go into about 12 cups daily. 12 of your daily value of iron is inside of your garbanzo beans, and we have so much in here. So we have a lot of iron in here, a lot of vitamin C to soak up that iron, and then we have our collard greens, which is, like I said earlier, our vitamin K, and it's perfect, and it has calcium, and it helps you absorb calcium, vitamin K, and our calcium is our cauliflower. So we have our cauliflower for digestive system and for our calcium for our bones. And then our onions are good for your heart health and your anti-cancer. And purple onions are good for anti-inflammatory agents. So you have a lot of nutrition in this one bowl. And that's not even saying all the seasonings and everything that we added. So this, I tasted parts of it already. I'm sure it's going to be absolutely amazing. But yeah, that's it. Do we have any questions before we go? And the sweet potatoes, I didn't add anything to it. I literally just cut them and put them here. And they're already like amazing. Nice and steamed. Eat it, eat it, eat it. I just did. Maybe it's a little bit of a delay. But yeah, so I'm going to be making a bigger bowl so you guys can see, and I'll have Andrew taste it because I don't want you guys to miss out on the taste test. It's a good size, or you want bigger? So I'm going to make his bowl in here just so you guys can see. Take all that water out. So we're going to do again our collard greens at the bottom. Now, if you're by yourself, this is about 3, maybe 4 bowls. So you can pack it for lunch the next day as well. We're going to put our onions and caramelized carrots. Here we go. And then we're going to take our Okay, so you guys can see what it looks like without the drizzle first. So you have the bed of collard greens. Then you have the garbanzo beans, the cauliflower, the caramelized onions and carrots, and our sweet potatoes. And then we're going to put the hummus dressing on top. And a little bit of smoked paprika for color and zest. And then that's how his bowl is gonna look. Here you go. Come and try this food. Here you go.
What's going on, gang? You know, it's like my first Happy Sundays cameo. I don't need a mic. You got it.
They won't be able to hear you.
We're close enough. We're close enough. They can hear me. All right, let's see. See what we got here. Let's get a little bit of everything. Get a little bit of everything. 'Cause you know how Buddha bowls go. I know everything. Got a little bit of carrots. Got a little bit of onion. I need some collard green. I know you down. There we go. There we go. All right. Bon appetitios.
Did you get any cauliflower?
Let me hurry up, cauliflower. What restaurant is this? We bought this at. You mean to tell me you made this? What restaurant you bought this at?
The Happy Sundays restaurant. Coming to a city near you. So yeah, it must be good, right? Okay, so thank you everybody for coming by. We will see you next Friday. Oh, okay. So we're gonna get a double whammy. So Alina's gonna come and try her food. Here you go, baby. She's gonna do hers. So she's reaching for the sweet potatoes. And she's gonna eat that first, of course. So she's gonna eat her skin because it has more of the nutrients inside of it. So that's a carrot and some hummus, some garbanzo beans, some quinoa. She's licking her fingers.
Yum.
Yum.
Delicious.
It's delicious.
Good.
It's good. All right, I got a seal of approval. All right, guys. So we'll see you next Friday, at 8 p.m. Eastern for family game night. We may come back on Saturday for another game night, just us playing games. And then Sunday we have cooking. So we have a good weekend, and we'll see you next weekend, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us. We're gonna do a raid so we can get some awareness. So just stick around. You don't have to stay in the raid for forever. Just go through, let the person say whatever they're gonna say, and then we're all good. So thank you so much, everybody. We're raiding Cursed Kitchen. Later. Running pizza.